I'm Stratton Coffman.
And I'm Aaron Powers.
And we met in grad school here in Boston. We were both studying architecture. This is our kind of first time showing it to other people after a couple of years of it gestating between the two of us.
It started during the pandemic where everyone was in a weird phase of not really knowing what's happening, what's going on next. And I think that work really changed. I think the ways of working were really different. A lot of Zoom meetings, we've been all over, separate places.
Yeah.
This miracle happened where cities suddenly were like, oh, we have this entire strip of land, essentially, that's only used for parking, and we can use that for architecture.
And so we were like, what else could you do with these generic tent materials of the poly plastic sheeting? And if the sheeting itself could become a kind of way of holding together other materials, kind of specialized materials that get compressed together, adhered together, could be disaggregated. So in the case of these columns, for example, the pocket as the wrapper actually holds something that's otherwise kind of floppy and gives it a pseudo kind of structural role.
Those are pipes back there, which become a wall system. Everything is misusing its original purpose. By combining it with the pocket, produces a new thing. So it's like a sheet plastic that's rolled up, but because the pocket contains it, it becomes a column. And then there's these ratchet straps in here hanging some granite bricks to kind of give it some stability. Most of this stuff is from Home Depot or just any kind of store you can find. Because they're this 2 foot by 4 foot unit, it becomes this kind of Lego brick that can be arranged in kind of any way.
We kind of wanted it to work as this open kit of parts that could be an invitation for other, constituencies or other users, authors to kind of take it over and experiment on their own terms with different things of filling it with, different ways of putting them together. And so now we're kind of intrigued to see what are other ways of putting these things together that could result in different kinds of quasi-furniture, quasi-sculpture, tent-like things. You could place in the street and find weird ways of being out in the space that we overlook a lot of the time.
Yeah,
you can sit on these,
move
them around, play with them. I think first we just want to thank Annette and the team here. It's been a really great experience. The residency for us has been really helpful as designers who are really just starting out our body of work. It's nice that this sits between a purely productive studio program and a venue to share and display work with an audience that's wider than just the people that we're familiar with or that we're already in conversation with, to expand it out into new venues and contexts.
We were originally imagining how can we build a column? They have columns in this space, how can we build a column with our pockets? And also the materiality, we love this stark white with these reliefs. We saw this material at a restaurant in Los Angeles and we were like, that's the material, that would look great in the space. Especially the super ornate space against these kind of things that are clumsy and kind of makeshift or whatever.
Yeah, off the shelf generic material.
Yeah, we love that kind of play between the two.
We're really excited to have you all here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It has since changed and many times. That was planned. That was a little twist. The other two will fall later in the night, so just watch out.